Hey there. If you have one wish, what would that wish be? So maybe you immediately know what that is. Maybe you need a moment to just come into your heart and just really listen. What is my deepest core wish? So whenever I have a wish, whether it's for a birthday, whether it's over my Friday night Sabbath candles, whenever I'm in a meditation and I come into my heart like that to really see what's there, the honest, very, very first wish in my heart is always that my children be safe and healthy and happy in their lives. That's really always my first wish. Um, and then by extension, that wish expands. And I really wish that everyone in my family is safe and happy and healthy. I have a very large family, lots of siblings and nieces and nephews, and thank God my parents are still with me. So I'm very blessed in that way. So I extend to my family, my larger family, and then I extend to everyone I love. And then I extend to everyone in the world, all beings everywhere, human and non-human, all beings everywhere should be safe and healthy and happy. So that's for me personally. No, this isn't to dictate for you what your wish is, should be, anything like that, right? We all know what's really, really deep in our heart, you know? So for me, it's always about my children first, and then it extends and extends. And of course, peace and well-being for everyone everywhere in the world. But the reason I'm asking this question and bringing this to you today is because in the Jewish month of Elul, which we are in right now, which is an entire month preceding the month of the high holidays of Tishrei, there's this work of cheshbon hanefesh, which is to take an accounting of your soul, take an accounting and really evaluate what's in your soul. What are you feeling? How are you showing up in this world as a human being? And one of the prayers that we say as part of the practice during this month is a psalm. It's Psalm 23. I always get that wrong. I don't know if it's 23 or 27. Sorry, I confuse. One is the psalm that you say at a funeral and for those, when you're facing death, and one is the psalm for the season of repentance. Um, I can check that for you, and I'll put the note down below which psalm it is. But in this psalm, there's a couplet and a phrase that always strikes me and becomes the base of a meditation in the season. And it begins with Achat Sha'alti, one thing I ask for, which is why I asked you, what is the one thing you ask for, that you wish for, that your heart yearns for? Achat Sha'alti me'et Adonai, one thing I'm asking of the infinite, of the divine. So the full text is Achat Sha'alti me'et Adonai, otah avakesh. Shivti bebeit Adonai kol yemei chayai, lachazot benoam Adonai ulevaker behechalo. And so that says, there's one thing, only one thing, that at my very core I'm asking of God. And this is what I request: to be able to sit and dwell and return to the house of the divine, God's home, God's shelter, God's presence all the days of my life, and to gaze upon God's presence, um, and to pray in, the presence of that awareness, right? So how does that relate and connect to what it is that you personally are asking for, wishing for, praying for? And I'm going to suggest that this prayer actually includes all of our other prayers, right? If I can really somehow succeed at being fully present and awake in each moment of my life, to the presence of the infinite, to the presence of what is true in the universe, that I am connected to all things and all things are connected to each other, and that there's so much more grandeur than we usually look at in our small, narrow perspective of life, right? If I can continue to touch and gaze upon the beauty of that truth, of the infinite, right? That somehow that includes sort of this like understanding or wholeness, a sense of wholeness, right? For ourselves, for our loved ones, for all beings. This sense of, oh, like if we just all came back and settled and recognized that we are one, we are connected, we come from source, we are expressions and manifestations of source in the world, that we return to source, that it's all one and the same. When we come back to that non-dualistic view and understanding of our place in the world, that higher perspective, somehow that also feeds and answers all of these other questions that we have and all of these other wishes that we have, right? From that perspective, it actually shifts something for us. So I hope that this was an interesting teaching for you. Maybe you put this to practice by journaling. Maybe you just ask yourself this question every day for the rest of the month. What is the thing I most desire in my heart and soul? What is the thing I ask for? What is the thing I'm seeking from God or whatever name you have for that which is, you know, outside and within you, right? What is that one thing? And maybe you do a meditation on it. Maybe you sit in silence for a few minutes a day and you just ask your heart, your inner wisdom, you know, you just ask, what is the thing I'm wishing for and asking for? Maybe you imagine wherever you are in any moment that I am in God's house. This is the dwelling of the infinite that I'm so lucky and blessed and fortunate to be alive in this moment. Whether you're walking or at work or driving in your car or sitting in front of your computer screen, this moment, this presence is within the dwelling place of the eternal. And what does that do and how does that shift your awareness in this moment? There's a beautiful poem that I should have queued up before I started recording this video. I'm actually going to pause the video to find it and come back. Okay, so thank you for bearing with me. First of all, I checked the Psalm and it is Psalm 27. So please accept my apologies that I couldn't recall that offhand. So Psalm 27 is the Psalm for the season of repentance. And this is the poem I wanted to share. It's a poem by Hafez. And it says, if God invited you to a party. And this is from Daniel Ladinsky's beautiful book, Love Poems from God. If God invited you to a party and said, everyone in the ballroom tonight will be my special guest, how would you then treat them when you arrived? Indeed, indeed. And Hafez knows there is no one in this world who is not standing upon God's jeweled dance floor. So the psalm makes me think this request of, I just want to know that I am in the presence, in the house of God, gazing upon God. That is the essence of that poem. Like, we are all here on this beautiful jeweled dance floor, invited to this party together, right? We're all in that Beit Adonai, Kol Yemei Chayai. We're in that house all the days of our lives. We just don't always remember it. So this is the time and the moment to wake up and remember that we are. Everyone else is too. And how then will you treat the earth, the tree, the bird, the water, the other human being that you interact with on a daily basis? All right. Many, many blessings. And I hope this was helpful for you.